All right, what's going on, guys? Let's fix this ND filter here. And we put a little bit more ND in it. All right, here we go. Even a little more ND. That's too dark, right? So the best dynamic range is gonna be right here. All right, so ND filter ideas and understandings of ND filters. What I understand of an ND filter is just to dumb it down for everybody. How they work, an ND filter, how you explain it real quick. It is a base for you to allow more light in or less light in. So it stops it, a bunch of stops. I'm not gonna do technical terms, so again, I'm gonna dumb it down for everybody. And the way you know how to use your ND filter is your ISO. It's based all on your ISO, nothing else. In my opinion, nothing else. Shutter speed, obviously, if you're recording, you're doing the double your frame rate. So if your frame rate is 120, you're gonna go to like 240. Your frame rate is 60, you're gonna go to 120. The math is not mathing right now. If frame rate is 30, 24 is gonna be 48, variable shutter speed and stuff like that. So if you know that concept, you know what I'm talking about. So when you have your shutter speed set a certain way, the higher you put your shutter speed, the darker the camera gets, less light is in, right? The lower your shutter speed, the more light gets in. So what you do with that is you keep your variable. So you want to always control your ISO and you want to control your f-stop. Now, if you want to be able to use the lowest, in this term, the widest f-stop, which would be like the lower the number, f1.2, let's say. We're running the 28 to 70 f2. So if you wanted to run f1.2 and you wanted to use low ISO of like 125, your camera's base ISO 100, some of them have 100, some of them have 250, A9 Mark III, then what you would do is you would have a variable ND filter. The ND filter allows the light to be controlled through the outside of your lens, and I would suggest you get from a 1 to 9 stop ND filter, nothing crazy expensive. I'm using the ND filter, and I'll put it up on the screen right now, right here. But I'm using that. Right now we're shooting at 4K 60. The reason why is because I'm doing a lot of movement and I want to have as realism as possible. We are only, I think, downsampling to from 5.9K resolution. So that's the downsampling. It's getting a little chillier here. So I'm gonna put this on. Anyways, so when you think about the ND filter and you think about how it works, when you know it's working is when your ISO base stays at 125 or your lowest ISO. So you basically raise the ND filter and allow less light in if you're outside, and that's how you'll know you'll get the perfect shot. And this is how I measured it. This is how I noticed that I was getting better shots and better lighting and stuff like that, because you don't have light. You can't control the light, right? You're outside. So what you do is you lower the base ISO, keep the ISO at auto. I leave my ISO auto white balance, everything, so that way the camera can do it for itself. Remember, these cameras are made to do this stuff, to have that control. I understand you want that, but for me personally, I don't want that control. I'd rather the camera do itself. I paid big bucks for it, so I prefer the camera to do itself. So I leave my ISO at auto, and the lowest ISO it could go is 125 with the picture profile that I'm using, which is picture profile 11, which I think is S Cinetone. This one says picture profile 2, so I don't know. Maybe that's, let me just make sure. Yeah, so this picture profile 2 is still S Cinetone. I'm still using S Cinetone right now. Usually I put my picture profile 2 to S-Log. So you're able to utilize it outside by having a high f-stop, which would be, again, f2, f1 point. The lower the numbers are, the higher the f-stop is considered. So if you go f22, that's the lowest in most lenses. So again, if you see that you're on your variable ND filter and your ISO is stable at 125, once it starts moving up, that means the camera is working through the ISO and using the ISO to change the lighting to be perfected. So if you want the most dynamic range, you're going to want to use the lowest ISO, the lowest possible shutter speed as far as a doubled up, and you're going to want to use auto white balance. So that's how you work your variable ND filter. Make sure that it's on, but you make sure that it's at a specific stop. Right now, mine's is at Stop number, so it's a 9 stop, so it's at like a 6 stop right now, so that's how much light is letting in. And let's see, if I go higher, it's going to start going up. The ISO is going to start going up. Just went up to 200, 250, and the lowest it can go is 125. So I just basically turn it up until I get the latest point, up until I get 125, and that way the camera's now not working through ISO, not working through white balance, is staying still at its normal base ISO, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't make it confusing. I hope you guys understand it. If you have any questions, let me know. And this is something I just discovered, so I wanted to make a quick video about it and learning how to use it. And so like, let's show you. Let me take out just a real quick test. Let's record it on my phone. So we're doing this now. How when I turn it, how the ISO changes, because you see auto ISO, what I was trying to show you guys on the phone, but it didn't work. So I'm turning it. I want you to see, as I turn it here, that's the darker, I put it darker, right? Look at the ISO now. You see? So when I turn it here, I think this is around the area, it goes to 125. You want to keep your ISO as low as possible. I'm turning it right now to the highest point that I can, and you see how it changes? So I'm going to keep it right there. So right now it's there. Hope I just recorded that perfectly and you guys can understand I want to show you guys the phone camera, but it's not great camera footage. So, all right, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you guys learned a little bit about variable ND filters and the concept of dummying down of variable ND filters and not having to make it so difficult the way people kind of do when they talk about specs and everything like that. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Remember to smash the like, hit the sub if you're new to the channel. It's your boy Wayne Spencer. I'm out. Peace.